Welcome and thank you for joining us today for the ICC-ES Approving Innovative Building Products webinar. During this webinar, we will discuss the process for approving new and innovative products that are not specifically covered in the building code, ICC Evaluation Service Reports, ICC-ES Acceptance Criteria, the ICC-ES PMG Listing Program, the ICC-ES Environmental Program, as well as services that help code officials in approving products. For those of you who may not know, ICC Evaluation Service is a subsidiary of the International Code Council. ICC-ES specializes in technical evaluations of building products, components, design methods, and materials. As you probably already know, the products, components, and systems that are used in new building construction are required to comply with the requirements of the building code. For example, the roof covering, roof deck, wall and ceiling material, roof framing, wall framing, floor framing, and foundation systems must comply with the building code. However, there are also many products used every day in modern building construction that are not specifically covered in the code. For example, the wall shown on this slide is used throughout the United States as a substitute for field-constructed shear walls in light frame construction. But were you aware that this wall is not specifically covered in the building code? The reason is that the building code cannot possibly include every product and component used in modern building construction. If the building code included every possible construction product currently in the marketplace, the code would be unmanageable in size and scope, and maintaining such an extensive code would be very difficult and impractical. Although new building codes are published every 3 years, many new and innovative products continually enter the construction marketplace. There are thousands of manufacturers who produce various new and innovative products that influence and shape building construction trends, but the building code cannot possibly include every product and component used in modern building construction. If all these products are not specifically covered in the building code or the standards referenced in the building code, then how are they approved for use in buildings? I'm sure we've all seen these products used. Some of you may have even specified these products in your building designs, and some of you may have approved these products in buildings in your jurisdiction. So the question is, by what process are these alternative products approved to be used in building construction? A good example of an innovative building product that is gaining momentum in both residential and commercial use is rooftop-mounted photovoltaic systems, referred to as PV systems. PV systems are supported and connected to the structure by a framing system. For life safety issues, it is important that the PV framing system demonstrate its ability to resist code-prescribed loads such as wind loads, seismic loads, and snow loads. Another example of an innovative building product is the Building Integrated Photovoltaic System, simply referred to as BIPV. This system functions both as an alternative energy-producing system and a code-compliant component of the building envelope. Let's start at the beginning with Chapter 1 of the IBC, which contains administrative provisions. Section 104.11 for Alternative Materials, Design, and Methods of Construction states, "The provisions of this code are not intended to prevent the installation of any material, design, or method of construction not specifically prescribed by this code." This means that the building code allows products that are not specifically covered in the code, provided that the material or method is equivalent to that prescribed by the code in terms of quality, strength, durability, and safety. And further provided that the alternative has been approved. So the next question is, what does the code mean by approved? Approved by whom? IBC Section 202 defines the approved simply as acceptable to the code official or authority having jurisdiction. Section 104.11 of the IBC states that the alternative shall be approved where the building official finds that the alternative complies with the intent of the code. This leads to even more questions. Specifically, What kind of information must be submitted to the building official in order for the official to determine that a product complies with the code? The section further states that supporting data in the way of valid research reports from approved sources may be necessary to assist the building official to determine that the alternative complies with the code. What are valid research reports? What are approved sources? Who decides if the supporting data and research reports are valid and from approved sources? The next question is, who has the responsibility to review and approve research reports and test data for alternative products? The answer is the building official. Section 104.11.2 of the IBC states, the building official shall have the authority to require tests as evidence of compliance. Test methods shall be as specified in this code or by other recognized test standards. And, in the absence of recognized and accepted test methods, the building official shall approve the testing procedures. The burden is on the building official to review and approve research reports and test data that are submitted to justify that an alternative product complies with the code. The word burden is used here intentionally because approving alternate products can be a significant challenge for the building official, depending on the type of product involved. For example, suppose the Acme Manufacturing Company produces a new and innovative spray foam insulation with an enhanced fire-rated performance. Acme spray foam is intended to be used in commercial buildings within the United States. According to Acme, their spray foam enhances air quality, is easy to apply, is safe, is energy efficient, and it's economical. However, the burden for the building official is to determine if these claims are true and approve or disapprove the Acme spray foam insulation. In accordance with the code, an Acme representative submits the engineering calculations and test data to the building official. The building official replies, "What do I do with all this data?" At this point, the building official needs help. Who can help? There is one very simple solution for the building official and Acme. If Acme Manufacturing had an ICC-ES evaluation report for their spray foam insulation, then the building official would not have to review the engineering calculations and raw test data. The engineering and test data would have already been reviewed by ICC-ES staff engineers, and the ICC-ES evaluation report would describe the spray foam product and specify installation requirements, limitations and restrictions that may apply, conditions of use, evidence submitted by Acme, which was the basis for determining code compliance, ongoing quality control program with inspections. This example illustrates how ICC-ES evaluation reports can significantly reduce the burden on the building official and the manufacturer. ICC Evaluation Service is a nonprofit subsidiary of the International Code Council. ICC-ES has direct access to those who maintain the code. ICC-ES is accredited by ANSI as a product certification body under ISO Guide 65. As a certification body, ICC-ES creates evaluation reports and listings that demonstrate a product's compliance to the codes and standards. ICC-ES has more than 80 years of experience in evaluating products for code compliance. ICC-ES was created to be an extension of the code official staff and is governed by a board comprised of code officials. ICC-ES is an invaluable resource to building departments, providing technical support with their competent and dedicated staff of evaluation report specialists, professional engineers, and licensed architects, whose only job is to evaluate building products for compliance with the intent of applicable codes and standards. Let's take a look at an example of a research report that could be considered valid, that is from a reputable source, and that could be approved by the building official. Here we see an example of a research report that can be used to assist the building official to determine that an alternative product complies with the code. This is an example of an ICC-ES evaluation report, simply referred to as an ESR. Each ESR covers a specific building product. The purpose of ESRs are to provide evidence to the building official that the product meets the requirements of Section 104.11 that we previously discussed. ESRs provide code officials the assurance of consistency, fairness, and a comfort level because of their technical accuracy. ESRs provide an independent finding of how a particular product meets the intent of the building code. Let's now turn to look at some of the details of how ESRs are developed. What is the basis for developing an ESR on a particular product? Where applicable provisions exist in the code or a reference standard, the product evaluation is based on requirements in the code or standard. How is compliance with the code determined by ICC-ES staff? A technical review consists of a thorough review and examination of product test reports, data, analysis, and calculations based on code requirements or the applicable acceptance criteria. Resolution of any questions or issues that arise are resolved with the report applicant. A draft evaluation report created by ICC-ES staff. An internal review of the draft report by ICC-ES staff for technical accuracy and consistency. Appropriate inspections and review of quality control procedures. The inspection agencies and testing labs used in the development of ICC-ES evaluation reports must be accredited. Inspection agencies must be accredited to ISO/IEC Standard 17020 for the specific types of products that are to be inspected. Testing labs must be accredited to ISO/IEC Standard 17025 for the specific tests that are required. Another basis for the evaluation of a product is ICC-ES acceptance criteria. Where there are no applicable provisions in a code or standard, or where the code or standard is not clear, specific acceptance criteria are developed to serve as the basis for product evaluation. The basis used for evaluation is shown in ICC-ES reports under Item 6, Evidence Submitted. Item 6 indicates the acceptance criteria and/or standard used as the basis for evaluation. Acceptance criteria, also referred to as ACs, provide an objective measurement for building products to meet the minimum performance requirements of the code. ACs are only developed when a product is not clearly covered under the code, when industry raises concern about the product's requirements, or when a new criteria is deemed necessary by the applicant or the ICC-ES Evaluation Committee. The next question is, how are the ACs developed? ACs are developed by the ICC-ES technical staff in consultation with the report applicant, as well as input from technical experts and interested parties. 3 times a year, the ICC-ES Evaluation Committee holds public hearings to consider proposed acceptance criteria. Proposed acceptance criteria are posted on the ICC-ES website for 30 days prior to the Evaluation Committee hearing to allow comments from interested parties. In some limited cases, the acceptance criteria is balloted to the Evaluation Committee without a public hearing. All approved acceptance criteria are posted on the ICC-ES website for anyone interested in ICC-ES reports. All new ACs and most revisions to existing ACs are brought before the Evaluation Committee in a public hearing. The public hearing provides an open and unbiased process for reviewing ACs. The committee is made up of building officials who review the ACs and listen to the comments and concerns of the industry. After reviewing the proposed criteria, the committee vote to accept or send the AC back for further review. Once an ICC-ES acceptance criteria is approved, it is used to evaluate products in an ICC-ES evaluation report. Building officials and specifiers can be assured that the products covered in an ICC-ES evaluation report meet the minimum requirements of the code. The final ICC-ES evaluation report represents an independent finding of how a specific product can be used to meet the intent of the code. The ICC-ES evaluation process is a way for the building construction industry to achieve approval for new and innovative materials and products, and create a level playing field between the various manufacturers of building construction products. The final ICC-ES report provides code officials and specifiers, such as engineers and architects, the assurance of technical accuracy, code compliance, consistency, and fairness. A product that has undergone a successful evaluation may place the mark of conformity on the product or packaging. This allows the code officials and specifiers to quickly see that the product has undergone the ICC-ES evaluation process. ICC-ES newly issued evaluation reports are valid for specified time periods. New ICC-ES evaluation reports are renewed after 1 year. After that time period, the manufacturer has the option to renew for 1 or 2 years. The manufacturer can submit an application to make revisions to the report at any time. Now let's take a closer look at a sample ICC-ES report. The slide shows the information provided on a typical ICC-ES report. The Construction Specifications Institute, or CSI, standard filing number is given. The report holder's name and contact information is listed. The subject of the report gives the specific product covered by the report. The scope of the report and applicable codes is indicated. The properties evaluated describes the properties that were used to evaluate the product, such as structural, fire resistance, wind resistance, etc. Applicable uses of the product, general product description, installation requirements necessary to assist the inspector and installer, conditions of use for the product, and any restrictions that may apply, evidence submitted for the evaluation of the product, such as test data, calculations, and acceptance criteria, information that may be required to identify the product in the field. According to a 2010 survey given to building officials by a third-party agency, the majority of building officials in the United States prefer ICC-ES reports for approving alternative materials and building products. According to Bruce Wilson, Chief Building Official for Cheyenne, Wyoming, whenever someone proposes a product or material that we are not familiar with, we always ask them to provide a copy of their ICC-ES report. Often we find that they do indeed have an ICC-ES report. They were just not aware of it. On other occasions, we simply do not approve a product or material until they provide us with a valid ICC-ES report. ICC-ES evaluation reports can be beneficial to many parties, such as code officials, product manufacturers, and product specifiers, such as engineers and architects. The benefits will vary depending on the user. The benefits of ICC-ES evaluation reports to the code official are: ICC-ES provides expert technical support to the building department for evaluation of products. The building official can have confidence that the product complies with the intent of the code. For more than 80 years, code officials have been able to rely on ICC-ES as a trusted and reliable source. ICC-ES evaluation reports save time by reducing delays during the plan review and permitting process. ICC-ES evaluation reports ease the burden and save time for the building official because they significantly reduce the time the building department staff spends evaluating all the test data and engineering calculations in order to determine if a product is in conformance with the code. The building department will not need to turn to multiple sources of information. ICC-ES provides one consolidated report on the product. An ICC-ES evaluation report provides the building department information on product performance. And the result is an effective and efficient approval process for alternative materials or products that are not specifically covered by the building code. The benefits of ICC-ES evaluation reports to specifiers such as engineers and architects are: having ICC-ES evaluation reports help streamline the plan review and permitting process. Having an ICC-ES evaluation report gives the engineer or architect confidence that the product complies with applicable codes and standards, because ICC-ES is a trusted and technically competent source for product evaluations. ICC-ES evaluation reports allow the possibility of more creativity and innovation in the design through the use of alternative materials. The benefits of ICC-ES evaluation reports to the product manufacturer are: ICC-ES evaluation reports streamline the process for getting a product accepted on construction projects. Having ICC-ES evaluation reports also makes it possible to reach the construction industry at large through various channels such as ICC-ES presentations, e-news, trade magazine articles, and trade association websites. Having ICC-ES evaluation reports gives a competitive advantage over products without ICC-ES evaluation reports because of the nationwide acceptance of ICC-ES as the leader in building product evaluations. Another benefit is wide exposure of published ICC-ES evaluation reports through embedment into electronic versions of the international codes. In addition, the general public benefits from ICC-ES evaluation reports because ICC-ES promotes code compliance and building safety. The public has open access to the directory of ICC-ES evaluation reports through the ICC-ES website. ICC-ES also develops listings on code compliance for plumbing, mechanical, and fuel gas products through the ICC-ES PMG listing program, as well as evaluation reports showing a product's compliance to green codes, standards, and rating systems through the ICC-ES environmental program. The process for creating evaluation reports or listings for these programs is similar to the process for ICC-ES evaluation reports for building products. The ICC-ES PMG listing program assists code officials and industry professionals in determining whether plumbing, mechanical, or fuel gas products comply with applicable codes and standards. Some of the codes and standards that are used in evaluating the PMG products are the International Plumbing Code, Uniform Plumbing Code, International Residential Code, International Mechanical Code, Uniform Mechanical Code, International Fuel Gas Code, ASTM, ASME, ASSE, UL, and ASHRAE. Some of the items to look for in a PMG listing: manufacturer name, product description, the list of codes and standards used to evaluate the product, listing criteria, installation instructions, conditions of listing, and the mark of conformity. The ICC-ES environmental program offers manufacturers a way to have their building, plumbing, mechanical, or fuel gas products evaluated by a third party for sustainable attributes. With the ICC-ES VAR environmental report, manufacturers have their products evaluated for compliance to green codes, standards, and rating systems. A successful evaluation results in the product being issued an ICC-ES VAR environmental report. Some of the codes, standards, and green rating systems that are used in the evaluation include the International Green Construction Code, California Green Standards Code, ASHRAE 189.1, NAHB and ICC's National Green Building Standard, LEED, Green Globe, among others. The evaluation scope indicates what guidelines, codes, standards, and green rating systems were used or are eligible for the compliance of the product. The ICC-ES VAR environmental report will indicate whether or not the product is in compliance with the requirements of the international codes. It will also provide a chart showing the eligibility of compliance to the green rating systems, standards, and codes. In 2010, the California Green Building Standards Code was released to help meet California's goals for greenhouse gases and emissions. It is written with both mandatory and voluntary language. The International Green Construction Code, IGCC, was developed to reduce the negative impact and increase the positive impact of the built environment on the natural environment. IGCC addresses natural resources, materials, water, and energy conservation, as well as indoor environmental quality and comfort. The IGCC was released in April 2012. All products that have gone through a successful evaluation in each program are allowed to use the applicable ICC-ES trusted mark of conformity, showing that the products are compliant. ICC-ES offers various tools that assist building officials, architects, specifiers, contractors, and any other interested party to easily find a product that has been evaluated for code compliance. The ICC-ES website offers building officials and all interested parties a way to look up products that have received an ICC-ES evaluation report or listing at no cost. Another tool that assists building officials in approving building products is eCodes Premium. eCodes Premium is an electronic portal through which code and other reference books can be accessed or downloaded from a computer or smartphone. This service provides access to the ICC-ES evaluation reports and PMG listings, which are embedded within the international codes so that code-compliant products can be quickly identified. Code officials and specifiers can easily look up the section of the code that applies to the report. Through the Building Department Service, ICC-ES provides assistance exclusively to building jurisdictions. This service assists building officials in approving building products in the field. The Building Department Service saves building officials time by providing them with an independent technical review on a product that has been presented to them in the field. ICC-ES works with the manufacturer to obtain information on the product. Within approximately 2 weeks, ICC-ES provides the building official with an opinion letter on the findings. The building official can then read through and decide whether or not to approve the product. That concludes this webinar on approving innovative building products through ICC Evaluation Service. For more information on ICC Evaluation Service, including the answers to frequently asked questions, visit www.icc-es.org and click on Help in the upper right corner of the webpage. Thank you all for attending. We will now have